Meteorologist Paul Moody for that weather forecast, but I have to say no one is going to like you when you forecast another May snowstorm.
Another May snowstorm. We lost a tree in our backyard last May from the snowstorm.
Let it go, let it go.
Okay, enough. And now, turning back to our segment eFIT News, where we look at ministries in southeastern Minnesota that are addressing food insecurity.
Fact! In 2012, more than 8,500 people each day used a food shelf in Minnesota.
On tonight's segment of eFIT News, we will be heading to Owatonna, Minnesota and Trinity Lutheran Church, where we've sent Charlie Leonard to see what they are up to address food insecurity. Charlie?
Hi, Pastor Paige and Pastor John. This is Pastor Charlie from Trinity Lutheran in Owatonna, Minnesota on a cold and snowy Sunday afternoon. And I'm here with Pastor Julie Malone. Hi, Julie. How are you today?
I'm doing just great, Charlie. It's wonderful to have you here. I want to welcome you to Trinity, and I'm really looking forward to introducing you to two of our people here, our members here at Trinity, Scott and Bridget. They have been really instrumental in starting some ministries here about combating food insecurity in our community.
Wow, I'm eager to hear what they have to say. Julie, when you hear the term food insecurity, what comes to mind for you?
You know, the whole idea of that there's that possibility that families will run out of food, you know, in a day or in a week, or they just don't know where that next meal is coming from. We've found that that exists a lot more in our community than we ever imagined. And so the ministries here that you'll be hearing about really tend to that. Giving people food, families food over the weekend that will get them through from Friday through Monday. Giving people a very safe place to come every Sunday night to have a free meal here, as well as monthly, what's the word I'm looking for? monthly subsidies that they get picked up here and that we add a meal to and those kinds of things. So Scott and Bridget are the experts. They'll be able to tell you a lot more.
Julie, I'm excited to meet Scott and Bridget. Let's go see them now.
All right, let's do that.
Hi, John and Paige. Say, Pastor Julie has given me a great tour here at Trinity Lutheran in Owatonna, and she's now introduced me to Bridget and Scott. And they have a lot to do with some programs here relative to food insecurity. And I'd like to introduce you now to Scott, who's been here since the beginning. About 7 years ago is when Scott began Meals of Hope.
Well, the program got started after I went on a mission trip to Pine Ridge and came back and decided that there wasn't much I could do from a distance there. And I decided that there was a lot of the same issues here in Owatonna, and felt that starting a meal at Trinity was a good start to help some of the folks around the community. A lot of the folks didn't have a steady meal, and then there was also some folks that did have a steady meal, but they didn't have the company, the fellowship to be around other people and that. So that's how we started Meals of Hope, and Meals of Hope not only gives people a free meal, but it also gives them the opportunity to fellowship and talk with others in the community. So it's not only are we feeding their stomachs, but we're also feeding their souls too. One of the things that we never even thought about was how Meals of Hope was going to affect the helpers. all the volunteers that we have, over 40 volunteers that help on a weekly basis. And we serve the meal every Sunday night, and it was just amazed me on how it's affected the helpers along with the people that have come to the meal too. You know, the meal provides a meal every Sunday night for anybody in the community, but it also provides the people of Trinity an opportunity to serve in God's way.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Bridget, who's involved with a program for the schools with a very unique name. What is the name of this program, Bridget?
It's called Wildcat Pantry. It's named after the mascot of the school that we serve currently. Well, Wildcat Pantry serves 13 families, which is about 65 people total. And the families come to church, to Trinity, to pick up boxes on Friday afternoons. Our Bible study collects the items, also staff members donate them. And really, I think for me, what hits home is some of the families have told stories about that weekend would be their weekend going hungry. And so there's a Bible verse that talks about how if God will feed the birds of the air, that so much more he will feed you. And that has come true several times where people think there's no hope and that they're not going to be taken care of, and they come and get their food. It is similar to the backpack program that many people are involved in as well. We had heard about that and tried to get it, and for the population that we were serving at the school we were connecting with, it worked better for parents to come and pick up at the church than trying to send the food home with children. So now we're able to provide fresh produce and bread and recipes for the families to take the ingredients that are in the box and then make those family recipes and eat around a family meal.
Well, John, I think that's about it for Sunday night here at Trinity Lutheran. It's very heartwarming to see all the people come to Meals of Hope. Julie?
Thank you so much for coming. It's been very nice to have you here, and I just want to extend a warm welcome to anyone who wants to come and have a meal with us on Sunday nights.
Good to be here, Julie. Take
you.
care.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
Back to you, John and Paige.
Thanks, Pastor Charlie, and thanks for being our correspondent out in the field. You know, I'm willing to bet that Scott had no idea where his ministry was going to go when he just started it over 5 years ago. And now today, Meals of Hope is serving close to 100 warm meals a week in the Owatonna community. And now Bridget with Wildcat Pantry, just a new ministry. We'll look forward to seeing where that goes in the next couple of years.
It's great when people think outside the box and what they can do to address food insecurity.
It is. Got a note here from Lindsay. Fact?
Please? It's really good.
Okay.
Fact. We know that you in southeastern Minnesota already do so much to address food insecurity, and we thank you for everything you do and will continue to do in your communities and in your congregations.
Well, that's all we have for you on this segment of eFIT News on River Crossings Live. Tune in next time.
Next time, our investigative reporter Paul Moody investigates whether or not the 5-second rule applies to communion wafers.
Interesting. We'll see you later.
See you later, people of the interwebs.